running errands, you're doing stuff that you don't want to do all the time. You know, business owners are, the goal is to become the CEO of your business, you know, but when you're first starting out, and when I say first starting out, I don't mean like your first year, okay? That's like baby steps. Like you're not even starting out at that point. You're just trying to figure it out. But your main objective is you're trying to get from hustler to entrepreneur to CEO. And I heard this guy talk about this from some analogy, and it made sense. It clicked to me. I'll give him credit. His name's, I know what his thing's called. It's at the tip of my tongue right now. I'll get back to you on where it's from. But he says, you start off as a hustler, you become an entrepreneur, and then you become the CEO. In the beginning, though, you're hustling, man. You're running around. I mean, like today, I mean, I'm the boss, but I'm getting my hands dirty, you know. I'm pulling these DI tanks out, switching them out, you know, getting it back to my guy so he can keep the job going. If we don't have fresh DI tanks, we can't keep our job going. A lot of people think, though, being the boss means that you're sipping pina coladas on a beach, and that's just not it, man. You're out here in the ditches, scrubbing, working, doing whatever's necessary. But you want to get from hustler to entrepreneur. And what that means is when you're a hustler, you're doing everything and anything that you possibly can to make money, to make your business work, to hire people, to figure things out. Oh man, I forgot to put my seatbelt on. You're doing everything necessary. You know, you're running around like a crazy madman, making things happen. And the hustler is telling you, hey, just make money, just figure it out. You know, like you don't need employees, you don't need this, you know, you want to do everything yourself. So you're kind of freaking out at times because you're doing 10 things at once. You know, you're switching out DI tanks, you're scrubbing windows, you're cleaning toilets, you're hiring people, you're firing people, you're paying their payroll, you're renting out an office space, you're hiring people. There's just so many things that come in. You're wearing so many hats being a boss or being a hustler. You graduate eventually. It's like going to school. You graduate to become an entrepreneur. And I would like to think that's kind of where I'm at right now, even though I'm kind of in the trenches still doing my thing. When you become an entrepreneur, you are the creative now. You start becoming the creative. So you now are investing your money back into your business. When you're a hustler, you don't invest your money back into your business. You're just a hustler. You're going out there making money, and whatever you bring in, you're using it for yourself, okay? You're not investing in equipment. You're not investing in employees. You don't have an office. You don't have company vehicles. You don't really have anything. All you have is money. So that hustler in you just wants to go out there and get it. When you graduate to the entrepreneur, you start getting creative. You start making more money. You're investing in people so they can multiply your outflow. You're training people. You're being the creative. You're saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't just clean solar panels. Maybe we should start washing windows, doing pressure washing, doing construction. You start coming up with all these creative ideas, which ultimately, when you become an entrepreneur, you start making less money than when you were a hustler. And some people are like, well, why is that? Well, it's because you're investing all this money back into your business, right? So how do you get out of the entrepreneur stage? Well, shit, you gotta become the CEO, okay? And the CEO is the boss. That's the boss man, okay? Boss man is basically the guy that now has implemented structure in his business. He has promoted people to foremen and managers and payroll and HR. Now it's his job just to make sure that all of those guys are doing their job. And maybe he's focusing on one area in his business, which is probably going to be the one thing that's going to increase productivity, which is sales. So the CEO is always focused on sales no matter what, even if he's got guys doing it. His job is to make sure everyone's doing their job, and then he's still increasing that top line, and he's looking at the top line from the entrepreneur and saying, yeah, we grew the business to the top line, but where's the profit? We need to make sure that the company's profitable. I know a lot of people that are growing businesses right now. They got $1 million business, $2 million business, whatever it is, but they're making $100K a year at the end of the year. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you in business? And when you're only making $100,000 a year, and you're a CEO, or you're an entrepreneur or whatever, and you're working 6-7 days a week, it doesn't add up. You could just go get a job at that point. So the CEO's job is to make sure that, you know, you're getting those 40-50% profits in the business, so you're actually ultimately winning. Now, the last step I think in business is called becoming the king. And the king is always about paying the crown. Okay, so the CEO's job is to make sure the king is getting paid. So eventually your job is to become the king, and that's what everyone's, you know, vision of like being an entrepreneur, being a boss, or being some sort of owner, that's what they see, and they want to be the king from right off the bat. You know, they don't want to do the dirty work. They don't want to switch the DI tanks out. They don't want to hire the people. They don't want to fire the people. They don't want to work the 6-7 days a week. They just want to be the king. And the king just gets paid. He just sits back and get paid. So remember, there's steps, and you got to start somewhere. I'm not saying it's going to take forever, but that's kind of what I do in my business every single day, is I just try to become the king one day. So that's that.
I'm MJ, I'm 2-3, man. I just need some time back. I'm zoned in like defense. My life gone, no recess, but I live my best one, so I got no regrets. So don't